Good morning, Eileen Pewitt and the ladies here, filming our first version of our editions of our bundle bag information. So today's recipe that you'll be getting in your bundle bag is called the Italian pasta salad. So the bag you'll be getting will have all the ingredients you'll need to put together this really kind of simple and healthy, inexpensive pasta salad that you can do pretty easily at home. Also keep in mind it makes about 4 servings for the recipe, so you can eat part of it and freeze part of it or whatever works for you. So we're going to go ahead with the preparation of the salad. I have gone ahead and pre-cooked 8 ounces of dried pasta, which is this. The dried pasta is here. This is my cooked pasta. The one thing I wanted to mention to you is pasta is a great thing to always have on your pantry shelf because it goes such a long way. This is 8 ounces of pasta. It actually boils up to 16 ounces of pasta, so you get 200% yield on your item that you're cooking. So it goes a long way. So we're going to add our pasta. Then we're going to add 1 cucumber that I've cut up ahead of time. The thing I wanted to show you about cucumbers is I didn't peel it all the way. I peeled it part way. The peeling is actually good. It has a lot of nutrients in it and some fiber. Some people don't like it, and that's fine. Some do. What I do sometimes is just peel part of it. A couple peels here and there. It'll maintain some of that dark green color, which is pretty, and you're satisfying the extra fiber that you can add. The other thing about cutting a cucumber is if you cut it in half this way, generally regular garden cucumbers have a lot of seeds in there. Now the seeds are what lead us all to that burping when we eat cucumbers, and maybe why some people avoid them completely. So a nice thing to be able to do is just take the seeds out. It does 2 things. It prevents the salad from having all those wet seeds and extra water, but it also takes the seeds out so it doesn't make us burp, and it actually makes the salad prettier. So again, what I did was I just took a small spoon. I hold the cucumber in my hand and just go ahead and dig the spoon into and below the seeds, and you can see they come off in kind of a nice big chunk. And you can just put those on the side, and then you have the cored cucumber that you can go ahead and just chop up. So again, it'll leave out the extra water. The next ingredient on the list is tomatoes. Now we don't often have fresh tomatoes. We sometimes do to offer you, but when we don't, what we do is we offer canned tomatoes. A perfectly good substitute for fresh tomato is a canned tomato. What I want to mention here is if you're going to use canned tomatoes in this recipe, be sure to drain them first. You can rinse them and let them air dry for a little while. Again, so you're not adding a little extra water to your salad. The other thing is a whole can of tomatoes is 4 times what you need for the recipe. So you really want to be careful not to pour the whole can in unless you really want it to be a tomatoey salad. Otherwise, just use a couple spoonfuls of what comes out of the can. And I have 1 tomato that I've chopped. So I'm going to put that in there. So again, a good way to always have tomatoes on hand is to keep canned tomatoes. They're inexpensive, they have a long shelf life, and you can do so many things with them. So canned tomatoes is a great option to have. Next in our recipe, we're going to use chickpeas, which we see a lot of in the pantry, and we're actually fortunate because chickpeas are very healthy. It's a great, again, some fiber and some protein that comes from a legume in a can. They are shelf stable, they last a long time. It's really a great way to add protein to a salad like this. So that's our chickpeas. The next on the recipe is we're gonna add a little extra protein by adding some sliced up pepperoni. Now we are including the pepperoni in your bundle bag today. What I did was just took out 2 ounces and sliced it up and put it in there. By all means, if you don't want to add the meat to it, you don't have to. That'll save you some calories in your salad. It'll save you a few dollars if you're shopping. So there's reasons to leave the protein out if you don't want that extra protein. The other thing is in your box of delivery today, you may have gotten some deli meat, maybe some turkey, maybe some ham, maybe some prosciutto, which we've been able to have on hand. Sometimes any of those would work in place of the pepperoni as well. So use the pepperoni or use whatever you like. The next ingredient on the list is our cheese. Now we have two choices of cheese in the recipe. You can go ahead and use a shredded cheese, which is here. Mozzarella is what I have on hand. But if you don't have that fresh cheese, and you can keep some Parmesan cheese, a drier cheese on your cabinet shelf or in your refrigerator, that's always a great option to have. Now you'll notice that I have 2 white cheeses. There's a lot more volume of the fresh one than there is of the dry one, mostly because this is mozzarella cheese, which is a nice way to add a little bit of extra fat and salt and those sort of tastes that we like in our salad. This is Parmesan cheese, which is a lot stronger of a flavor, so you'll want to use less. You would not want to use a cup of Parmesan cheese as you would to use a cup of the shredded mozzarella cheese. And so the other thing to mention is you can use any cheese you have or leave the cheese out. So cheese is a nice thing to add to the salad because, like I said, it adds a little bit of extra flavor, and it adds a little bit of fat, which is the flavor we all love on our palate when we're eating. So I went ahead and used the mozzarella instead of the Parmesan cheese. Now the next ingredient on the list is some fresh herb, which I love. Fresh herbs are the greatest way to add flavor and good things to your food without adding calories that are not good for us. It allows you to reduce the amount of salt you eat, which is good for some of us who might have high blood pressure or should be avoiding salt. So herbs and spices are a great way to add flavor and really good things without adding the dietary things we should leave out. So I'm putting in a couple of tablespoons of what I have on hand, which was some chopped basil. I grew some basil in the garden. I'd love to talk with you about how to get some gardening done at your house. We could easily have you start some basil plants or whatever on your windowsill if you don't have room outside. It's something we at the pantry wouldn't mind working with you on if you want to. So I used some fresh basil in there. And finally, we're going to use a dressing for our salad. And we're going to use a bottle dressing, which you will also find in your bundle bag. These are very inexpensive. This was $1 at the grocery. I'm only using probably a fourth of it, so you'll have you can make 3 more times this recipe if you like, or use it on anything else as a marinade. So it's a great way to invest your $1 if you're shopping, and you can usually find the store brands that are a little less expensive. In another video that we're going to go ahead and do later, I'll talk with you about how to make your own healthy vinaigrette dressing at home, which is even fewer calories. I'm not even going to go into how many calories this is versus if you did it by yourself at home. We'll talk about that next time. So for now, we're going to use 3/4 of a cup of that salad dressing that we got from the grocery store. And actually, that completes the amount of items that are in our salad. And by that, our salad is finished. You can see it has a lot of beautiful colors. It's quite a large amount of salad. This actually could be an entree salad. You could put it on top of some of that green lettuce that you also get, and that could be a complete dinner. You could use just 1 serving of it, which is about 4 ounces, and then put a little bit of other protein or something alongside. But it certainly would satisfy for a complete meal. As far as the macronutrients, which are protein, carbohydrate, and fat go. So just wanted to share with you how simple it is. Let you know that we try to create these bundle bags so that it has everything in it that you need to go home and make the recipe. We're happy to hear any kind of suggestions, comments, questions you might have about the recipe. And I'm going to leave you now after I just serve up a little bit of this on a plate, because of course before you serve it to anybody you'll want to take a taste. And finally, I think the thing I want to leave you with is the line I like to remember is curiosity does wonderful things in the kitchen. So the more curious you are about how to make better food or try new foods, the more fun you can have. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.